It can't go on like this, can it?
It can. Hi all, welcome back to the final whistle then for another match day vlog on the channel. And no, Mick McCarthy's not the next Leicester City manager. I was just having a bit of a click around there, and it can't go on like this for Leicester City again, can it? As Leicester look for their fourth manager in just over a year and a half with it. And we're going to have a look at who next for Leicester City. Who will be next? Well, welcome to the evening whistle. We're going to discuss and look at the managers who's on the list. We're going to look at what Tom Colomassi said today as well. Going to discuss, could it be Gary Rowett? Could it be Gerrard? Could it be Russell Martin? Could it be Andy King? Could Nigel Pearson make a return? The club legend. Will it be a 6-month contract? Will it be a year's contract? Will it be a long-term project? I don't know. Right. So, everyone get involved. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Get involved. Let me know who you think will be the next Leicester City manager. Who is out there? Because if you look at the list, there's not really much to choose from, are there? But yeah, Leicester City looking for their fourth manager in a year and a half. We sacked Cooper after Enzo. We sacked Rude, and now we've obviously got rid of Marti Cifuentes yesterday. But let's chat. Samuel, how are we? When does it start? We're live, mate. We are live, my friend. Evening all. How many weeks do we get a new manager then? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows how long this one's going to take? Hey, Jack. How you feeling? Let the speculation begin. How am I feeling? I think, to be honest, with the whole Marti situation, it was the case of, for me, with Marti, he just simply didn't have the answers. The performances, the stats back it up as well. He wasn't the main problem at Leicester, is what I would say. But yeah, he was the man who was the fall guy, should we call it? But he wasn't the solution either. He did pay to come here, which we took the easy way out and hiring someone who obviously wanted to come in. But yeah, greetings, Terry. How are we? But like I say, Blue Fox, we need to find somebody and quick. Andy King will take interim for how long ever it takes to find the right man. I hope we go and search for her and actually do a decent job in actually looking for a good enough manager to take over. We've obviously got to take in mind of the situation we're in currently. How many managers will want to come and manage Leicester City in the current state of the club's in? But yeah, it's going to be interesting now to see who we actually bring in, what names we'll get linked quite heavily with Leicester. Evening, Jack. Evening, chat. Evening, Dawn. Good evening, Everts. How are we, my friend? Jack, the manager. I'm not putting my name in the hat for that. I'll stick to EAFC and all that. Think we'll have someone in place before the Charlton game? Nah, I wouldn't say so. I reckon Xavi would love a house in Stonygate. Xavi would not touch Leicester with a barge pole. Let's not be crazy, Richard. Let's not be crazy, my mate. Gary Rowett should be the man for 6 months. It's possibly Rafa on a 6-year contract, knowing Rudders and Tops track record. We look at our managers that we have had. Cooper didn't work out. Van Nistelrooy, I don't think we really planned in here. You look at when we did sack sacked Enzo. Let's take it back to Enzo. So Enzo has the biggest win percentage out of all of them. Enzo left, went to Chelsea. Leicester had to get a manager in. There was Graham Potter, who Leicester put in. They're all in their eggs in one basket for. We could have gone with Corbrand, but then we decided with Steve Cooper. Steve Cooper lasted about, 12, 13 games. Didn't work out. And then we moved from Cooper to another Forest searching Ruud van Nistelrooy, who managed 4 games at Man United, beat Leicester twice. And Van Nistelrooy's time at Leicester City was absolutely honking. It really was. The results, the home form, the not winning at all. We went down without a whimper, didn't we? Back down to a championship under Ruud van Nistelrooy. We left to sack Ruud too late, I'd say. We probably should have sacked him sooner, but we ended up leaving it till the end of the season and then getting it in the summer and then having to pay off another manager. We brought in Marti, who paid his part of his compensation to come here. A manager who spoke well, and we thought, you know what, sounds good enough bloke, speaks well, can his philosophy match it with what he's basically telling us? And it's difficult when you're in a decline as a club and you then think about all them factors, the players on big wages and all that jazz. We then come with the problem of, can the manager work with these? We've had 3 managers now where there've been massive problems with the players. The players have got to take big criticism on it. Of course they have. They've not been doing what they're supposed to be being paid to do in picking up good performances, showing the fans that they care and showing that fight and getting the results that we need. So Marti obviously struggled on that front as well. Obviously the performances of Marti's football just didn't match it. The stats, like I say, would back it up very much. We weren't a side who was scoring a lot of goals. The performances were dire. I think it was one that was very much coming, but again, Marti wasn't the answer. He definitely wasn't the solution. And who's going to come in and sort this mess out? Because it's a difficult situation where it's a business. You don't want to keep sacking managers, but you obviously have to, because football is a results-based business. So Gary Rowett has obviously just been sacked by Oxford, former Leicester player as well, for any of the older fans who watch Gary Rowett at Leicester. Evening, Jack. Let's steer clear of Martin. It's not my ideal choice, I'll be honest. How long has Mark Robbins got left at Stoke? So Mark Robbins, let me have a look. When did he join Stoke? So Mark Robbins is another Leicester fan's favourite. It's time at Leicester. Did quite well at Leicester as a player. Mark Robbins did fantastic at Coventry with a shoestring budget. Got them up to the Championship. Got them in the playoffs and that. And it worked well. He's gone to Stoke. And it's just been steady. Mark Robbins joined Stoke on the 1st of January 2025. So he's been there about a year and a little bit. Green Jack, hope the fans get behind King. That's all we ask in it. Get behind him. He's a legend. He really shouldn't have to be put in this situation, Andy King, but I do wish him all the best in what this is at this minute in time, and hopefully he can maybe get a little bit of a positive tune out of getting some results on the board for us, Kingy. Love him to bits. Robbins or Rowett, for me, both have championship experience, yeah. If Kingy does a good job, that means he's going to get on a permanent. I think King, for me, would be very much good as a, what do we call it? Just taking it for now. Taking it as interim. That's what I'm getting at here. Andy King is not the future solvent of this. Do you get what I'm saying? You can't put that pressure on Kingy. I just don't think it's fair. Big Sam incoming. Bloody hell, are we at that stage, are we? Mark Robbins for me, ex-player and done great at Covent Stoke. Proven, we need a proven manager, someone who knows these situations and how to get out of them and that, because we're obviously still in the instinct of a possible points deduction and that. We don't know what's happening there. So these managers are going to look at Leicester and think, well, we've got a possible points deduction to come, and this is the squad that managers haven't been able to get the best out of. Marti wasn't the main problem, but the results basis is what it is, and he loses his job because it just wasn't good enough. But like I say, we need a manager to now come in. Do you want someone on a 6-month basis, and then it gives top time to find a permanent manager at the end of it? You get me? I don't know. Stockport's manager's being talked about. Is that Dave Chandler? Chandler, is it, Terry? Let me know. Cooper was a good man. He scored in every game. Cooper was too nice. He was too nice of a bloke. But he wasn't fancied from the off, was it? The players just didn't want to play for him either. And this is where we're at, How's bro? I am. Hello, Con. Good to see you in as always, mate. Seen you in yesterday. Goalkeeper, left back, and a centre forward sorted. Didn't need something, mate. I wonder if Harry Winks will be back in the squad. That's the interesting part of it, isn't it? Harry Winks, a player who is on a big sum of money. He's the highest earner at the football club. A player who's not been seen since Sheffield United at home. Apparently just caused disturbance at the training ground and that. Marty took him out altogether. Hasn't been seen since. A report of that he wants to move clubs this transfer window. But then the only way Harry Winks moves clubs is if someone's going to pay his wages, which I don't think anyone's going to pay that type of financial wages, to be honest. Winks is a good player. The attitude, it don't match what he can, is what he's capable of as a footballer. But what I will say is it's the case of he's clearly a bad egg, so you can't bring somebody in who's causing a disruption in the squad. You can't bring them players in, because if you bring him back in now, that's going to cause the players to think, you know what, if Harry Winks can do what he's been doing, we can do the same. You can't do that. Yes, he's a good midfielder, and yes, we miss someone of his caliber in the Championship in that midfield, but you can't physically just think, you know what, all is forgiven and then just move him back in, because I don't know. It won't be good. It won't be good. However, whoever comes in will just have the same problem as the last 3 managers have had until they get the boardroom sorted. This club won't progress. It's a massive issue, isn't it? There's been a lot of mistakes made. And yeah, who do you want next as Leicester City manager? Who's out there? I'm not a Russell Martin fan. I'd rather not, if I'm honest. I know what some Southampton fans will think of Russell Martin. I know what Rangers fans think of Russell Martin. Russell Martin was one that got very much linked to Leicester City in the summer. It was one that the club had spoke to. And then that were it. He ended up going to Rangers in the end. Not Pearson. He's been started to West since ago. I don't know about Big Nige. I don't think it will happen. I come in peace. Maniac, how are we? You need a proven manager, I think. Yeah, I'd say so, mate. Will be tough start for King Air with our star player JG out for a while and maybe Nelson on Saturday. Yeah, it's difficult for anyone to come in and do what needs to be done. You've got to get a tune out of these players for a start, and it's difficult. More than a manager, you need a number 9. Yeah, we definitely need a number 9, mate. Yeah, no, it's true. It's true, Rich. On Saturday, we've got to get behind Kingy. Kingy is the man in the dugout on Saturday, and I will get behind Kingy, and hopefully he can get us some good results. Evening troopers, the Leicester circus continues. Why aren't they selling Hamza? Because there's been no offering, mate. That's all I'm saying. Need an older head in charge. Well, do you know what? I'll tell you what we do need. Someone to go in there who's very strong-headed in managers. Someone who's not going to take no messing about. That's what we need. See, we had a couple of them in the summer, didn't we, where you looked at Dyche, you looked at Chris Wilder. Two managers, players won't want to get on the wrong side of it all. They go in there and demand that respect from the off. Someone who's going to go in there and sort them out. Because that's what we need. We need someone who's not scared to say it is. And I think this is what it is, to be fair. I'd go for a short-term manager to work with King here. Maybe more candidates in the pool after the World Cup and can be roundabout going. I'd agree, maybe a 6-month deal to give us that time to find somebody on a permanent basis, someone good enough to take over for where we are next season as a club, because we don't know what's happening. We don't know what this points deduction is going to be coming. So, yeah, we'll see. Ollie would be a good shout. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer done well at Man United as interim as well. He's too nice and all, though, isn't he, Ollie? Do you think he's got a ruthless streak about him? Ralph Hasenhuttl done quite well at Southampton, didn't he? Even though Leicester beat him 9-0. I think Man United beat him by about the same score, didn't they, that year? Neil Lennon knows the club well. Did very well at Celtic. Neil Lennon, good player. He has obviously got experience as a manager as well. So I'm not sure. You guys keep getting your names in. We'll discuss managers and who you want next. 6-month deal, 3-year deal. We are as a club at the minute. We are a shambles. We're a club in a real mess. And this is what's happened, you know. We need a manager who can adapt, play different systems, and not be stubborn like the last few. See, when we were looking at reports in the summer, I think there was one report that said top wants a manager who's going to play like Enzo, right? And Rookin, he was just happy about someone like a Dyche and someone like that. Do you know, like a Chris Wilder? Them type of managers. So it never felt that they were on the same page of what actual manager they wanted. They were both. He was just like, and that just shows that they've not planned very well. One wants one thing and one wants another, so it drags on, doesn't it, till they can meet in the middle and actually find a manager. And then all of a sudden, then Rookin and Top have agreed on Marti because Marti paid to come here, which. If Marti didn't pay to come here, I think we'd have prolonged it a bit more, wouldn't we, in finding a manager. So it's a difficult thing when one wants one thing and one wants another, and then all of a sudden they've then come together and said, okay, then we'll agree on Marti. So we can only hope, and I say this, we can only hope they've bloody planned and got an actual list together of managers. That's all we can hope for. We should be looking down. Well, this is it. We're just where we are as a club, mate. It is we're 14th in the championship. We had 11 defeats this season, so we were a side who have had 23 league games without a clean sheet. So it's not good. Ruben Amorim will not touch Leicester with Barge Bowl. You're right. A strong manager. I don't think it's not long term. No, it's not long term. Kevin Muscat. Yeah. Muscat, who Neil Warnock had a bit of a thing for once upon a time. If you've seen the video, that's for Muscat, That's for Muscat. I remember it. What about try and get Marco Silva? No. He would not. No. Right, Tom, let's talk realistic at the minute of who's out there, who can we get? Because I don't think we're a club at the minute who's going to go out and pay big money for a manager. We're not going to pay money for a manager. This is why I don't think about Mark Robbins, really, because we're not going to go and pay compensation to Stoke. he's been there a year. Would he want to go and think, you know what, I'd rather go to Leicester if what he's doing at Stoke? So, I don't know. Support the stream. Hit the like, everyone. 19 in the chat. Not many likes. Yeah, guys, if you can, hit that like button for me. 95 of you win. Really appreciate your support, by the way. If we can get 50 likes on this stream or even more, you guys have smashed it. I appreciate everyone's support for every stream we do, every match day vlog, every whatever we put on this channel, by the way. You guys are what make the final whistle what it is. You know, you're getting involved each week and all that. You know, you guys are a big credit to the channel. So if you can subscribe as well, it would help me out massively. We try and push enough streams out each week to get something we can talk about. Big Sam would short term. See, that would be if we're like 23rd in the table and we look like we're getting relegated. Should the director of football be appointed before the long-term manager? That's an interesting one, actually, isn't it? Obviously, we need a new technical director in. We're obviously need one. There's obviously been a lot that we would get a technical director in to obviously help Rudkin. Rudkin's obviously going to be moving upstairs when the technical director comes in. But obviously, you know, we seen it a few weeks ago where the Southampton technical director turned Leicester City down because he don't want to be in the same situation he's currently in at the minute with Southampton. Do you get what I mean? You're going into basically the same job but a different coloured shirt. So 100 of you in. Really appreciate everyone's support. Big up every single one of you. Keep getting involved. Let me know who you would like to see as the next Leicester City manager. We're going to look at the bookies in a minute. So, yeah, let's chat. We should get through this season and next season build around the youth maybe. You got a point there, Christian. I think there'll be quite a few youth players that we can use next season. A rebuild from fresh, get rid of the players on high contracts and then realise where the mistakes have been made. That's what I would say. Is Patrick Vieira in a job? No, he's not. I don't believe so. Let me have a look. I don't believe he is. Patrick Vieira. No, he's always on Sky Sports at the minute, isn't he? He was in a job. He was at Strasbourg between 23-24 and 2020 when he became manager of Italian club Genoa and was sacked in 2025. So he was sacked by Italian club Genoa last October. Don't even think who's out there. Think cheap managers, unfashionable, less than 1 million a year. Steven Gerrard did well at Rangers. Not quite at Aston Villa. It started okay, but it didn't work out in the end. Someone bloody mentioned Wayne Rooney. Not in a catch chance. Are we hiring Wayne Rooney? Crap at Birmingham. Crap. At Derby, I think Liam Messina really did a lot more there than even Rooney did. Absolutely crap at Plymouth. Yeah, don't go and put that name in there, by the way. What about Will Steele? Will Steele was good in France, did well at both French clubs, came to Southampton, didn't work out at all, did it? But then you at Southampton, you got players who, you know, it's player power in that, innit, is what I'd say. You know what? You know we won't have a plan as we haven't had the last four managers. It's the technical director who will pick the manager this time. You'd hope so, but there's no technical director at Leicester City at the minute. So it'd be John Rudkin and Top who pick the managers at this minute in time until we actually get one in. Steven Gerrard, it won't be. I wouldn't say it'd be a bad shout. I mean, again, I don't know what you guys think of Steven Gerrard. Heckingbottom. Is he at Preston at the minute, isn't he? He's doing a good job there. He sort of did all right at Sheffield United at the start, and obviously he ended up getting sacked there. No, he's not long being sacked. Yeah. I can't believe Top mentioned playoffs. yeah, we're going to be nowhere near the playoffs this season. So, yeah, I've seen it. And they said to him, if you don't get promoted this season, what's the plan? He said, we'll get promoted next season. You've got to be realistic of where we are as a club and take into consideration PSR and that and all them things, because this club is far from being sorted. Need a manager flexible in his thinking, rather than one just stuck with one playing. That's what I'm saying, Mark, there, mate. And I agree with what you're saying. We need a manager who can go from A to B, and then if B's not working, go to C. Someone who's got that sort of thing about him. Do you think that's why Evans will go out on loan so he's ready for his next season? Maybe. He's going out on loan to Northampton Town. Lee Carsley, it won't be a bad shout, but I don't think he'd drop the England job for Leicester, do you? It's a shame we are not giving Evans and Monga a go, but next season we should get rid of the players with high wages and who don't want to be here, and let's start straight away from Russell Martin. Yeah, I with that one, Christian, is the fact of we need to rebuild next season. That's what we physically need to do. We need to get rid of all these high earners. There's quite a few of them out of contract at the end of the season. So what you do is, these players are out of contract at the end of the season. Don't offer them another one. Don't even bother. Football Martin for the Leicester job. Bloody hell. Big Ange instead. He was doing all right at Spurs. Big Ange. He obviously won him a trophy. Did well at Celtic. He obviously did well in Australia as well. Big Ange. Craig, we're not having that, mate. We're not having Steve Bruce anywhere near Leicester City, mate. Heckingbottom at Preston with no budget. Got Sheffield United promoted with one striker. Knows this type of league for. That's what I'm saying. We need somebody who obviously knows the league quite well. Someone who's not afraid to voice their concerns. Because I kind of think that with Marti, he's a yes man, innit? Very much a yes man. We brought somebody in who would just be told what to do, basically. And that was an issue. Steve Cooper, yes man, basically. Ruud van Nistelrooy, I don't even think you can bloody tell him what to do. He won't have none of it. Bring in the youth next season who will play for the badge and not paycheck. January, we should be looking at managers like Dino Topmiller, Mikkel Tomlinson, managers that have good PPG, but also have completely different way of playing to how we are. That's it. I do think, though, Scott, how we look at managers is style of football. What style do we want to play? We've had Enzo, right? Plays Pep style of football. Then you got Cooper, who doesn't even play nowhere near. He just plays low block football. Ruud van Nistelrooy, I don't even know what Ruud's style of football were. Marti, possession-based football and hope to attack, but it never works. But you're passing it around the back and sideways and backwards more times than you're getting it forward. And you're then getting out for the game management's just not there. So we need a man-wear plan. I'm going Mark Robbins. Big up Jamie, by the way. I'm going Mark Robbins. Steady the ship. I knew ex-Cov, but knows how to manage these ego players. Yeah, I agree. Mark Robbins would not be a bad shout at all, but are we going to pay the compensation for him to come out of Stoke City? That is the big question, because he did a fantastic job at Coventry, ex-Leicester as well as a player, was much loved at Leicester, did wonders then at Coventry with the shoestring budget from League Two up to the Championship, and Coventry fans love him. They do. But we sort of, someone will sit here and say, yeah, but it's Coventry. Yeah, but it's not about that. He played for Leicester City before, way before. He was Leicester's man first. Right choice, Mark Robbins, been and done it. He knows us if we have the funds. Big up Wazza, big up my mate. If it's a yes man in Solskjaer, they gave him the players to coach and allowed him to pick the tactics. do you think sometimes that Marty picked the team? I don't know. I don't know if it's to ask the beggar question. Do you think Marty picked the team sometimes? I don't know. Come on then, Jack. Who are we getting? I don't know, Ollie. I am not sure, Jolly, mate. Not sure. Would relegation be that bad for Leicester, though? We got relegation to League One, and look what happened after. It would be a great reset. That I'm going to sit and say a simple no. I don't agree with that. Relegation would be a massive thing for Leicester City. From Premier League champions in 2016 to relegation to League One in 10 years after. Oh, Jesus Christ. Christian, mate, I don't know. It'd be horrid, I think. That's the word I'm looking for here with what you just basically said. It would be a bad thing. Of course it would. We need to stay in the Championship and rebuild. That's what we physically need to do. Getting relegated to League One, wow. Back-to-back relegations. Won't go down well, would it, in the fan base? That's all I'm saying. Robbins is a legend. Harry Redknapp, he'd bring his jam rolling poly with him, that bloke. Let's be honest, may as well look as a manager out of jobs. The more money on a new manager, the less money available. Do you see the interview with Top about current affairs at the club? It's out tomorrow, isn't it, on the When You're Smiling podcast. So I'm hoping we'll see what happens. If Andy King gets a couple of back-to-back wins, do you think they'll give it him until the end of the season? Maybe. This is what I say. If Andy King's doing well, and then it sort of gives us time to actually go out and actually look properly for a manager that we actually want, not someone we're just hiring for the sake of it. Go out and actually look thoroughly. Go and do the due diligence and that on it. Go and have a proper look. If Andy King's doing well and gets it till the end of the season, I don't think there'd be an issue. But I don't think that's going to be the plan. Jack, call your mate Danny Rowe. I tell you what, I'd have preferred Danny Rowe instead of Marti in the summer. You know my stance on that armchair, mate. You know my stance on that one. Just not Russell Marti. If we get him, he plays the most boringest of football going. Christian can't. Well, lots of news on Rowett. Yeah, it'd be for some, it'd be the ideal for this situation. He's done it before. He's done it at Derby, Millwall, Birmingham. He's been there. He's done it. If you look at what he did at them three clubs in this type of situation. What about an up-and-coming manager like McKenna? We are not getting Kieran McKenna. That's a no-go. There is no chance we are getting... We always say never, don't we? People always say we're never too good to go down. You remember that 22-23 season where we got relegated with the team that we had. Yes, I'm a Leicester fan, saying because there is a possibility of relegation after the points deduction if we don't get the points. It's an interesting one, mate. Should have got Michael Carrick. Potentially, me and my dad have both said we need to get Nigel Pearson in as director of football. Pearson would be good as director of football, wouldn't he? No messing about, straight up for the job, simple. But I don't know how well Pearson is at his time. So we can't put the pressure on Big Nige. Rowett will keep you up. Rowett is the only name to be backed in the betting. Yeah, Gareth Southgate, easy, yes, man. That'd be like bloody hiring the FA. Gareth Southgate, I tell you what, club football, for Middlesbrough, he was awful. He were awful, by the way. You ask Middlesbrough fans about Gareth Southgate as a manager rather than a player. Jack, let's get Frank Heisen. Bloody hell. No quick fix. Need a manager, new players, new strategy. Basically, need everything. We're low budget. No, I wasn't suggesting him. I'm just using him as an example. Like I'm sure there are a lot of quality managers in League One who could step up into the Championship. Did Luton do that? Didn't they? Didn't they bring that Oxford manager, the one who's currently at Oxford now? Bloomfield were it from Wickham, and then they went down after the Rob Edwards. Yeah, that went well. We took the out of the points deduction. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. It's not the FA's the problem. You need to talk with the points, don't you? It's the Premier League and the EFL. Right, let's have a look at some of these names then on the. I'm on an odds checker, by the way. So Andy King. I think he'll be all right as interim for now until we find a new manager. Russell Martin. Not for me, I'm sorry. Lee Carsley. It won't be a bad shout, Lee Carsley, but I don't think he'd leave England for Leicester. The delusion dream is that Christian Fuchs saves Newport, Andy King gets us to the summer, and then Fuchs play plus King back in the dugout. What a dream. Christian Fuchs, he coached well at Charlotte, you know. Which players would you bring in? Also, there a possibility of JJ signing. Which players would I bring in? We need quite a few new players, to be fair, but have we got the money? I don't know. Right now, I'd probably say no. Recent history suggests a left field choice. Yeah. Ralph Hasenhüttl won't be a bad shout, to be honest. He's one of them who's very much speaks the way he feels about situations, you know, and I think he'd be another one who would do, who would very much be a steady appointment, in my opinion. Gary O'Neill's obviously at Strasbourg at the minute, and Stephen Gerrard's on there. Gary Rowett, again, he's for these type of situations. Anyone in a job won't be touched. That's what I'm saying. We're going to go for a manager armchair who's very much out of a job. Robbie Keane, who's obviously with Hungarian side at the minute. I think he won the league with them last season, didn't he? The side that is at Robbie Keane. Was that his first stint job as a proper manager? I know he was at Ireland when he Robbie Keane. Michael Beale did all right QPR. It didn't go well at Rangers or Sunderland, so that's a no-go for me. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. For me, if and but, I'd say, thought we are under a financial plan. We're not with the champ EFL at the minute, mate. It's just the only thing that's stopping us buying players and that and everything like that is the PSR thing. Ayew, Daka, Winks, Pereira, Samari, all our contract just to get through this season. And honestly, I think next season will be much better when PSR will be reset. Rowett was backed 30 minutes after the final whistle on Saturday. Wow. Bloody Mike Bassett. We definitely need to get a striker in. Yeah. What about the Hearts manager at the end of the season when they win the title? Well, I think last time we had a Hearts manager with Craig Levein, wasn't it? Craig Levein? Anyone remember Craig Levein? One of the worst Leicester managers in history, by the way. Yeah, I wouldn't bother. That's exactly what I'd say on that one. We don't want another Craig Levein. Will Steele got sacked by Southampton, just wasn't good enough. Well out of his depth there, I felt. Nigel Pearson, we can't rely on Big Nige for this situation. If he was good and well in that, I wouldn't physically say no for him to come and save us once again. But Patrick Vieira's out of a job. Will Steele is an imposter. Where is he? He's got a Football Manager. Anyone play that? Gareth Southgate, no. Jesse Marsh has obviously been linked in the bookies as well. No, I'm all right, thank you. Bruno Lage, who was at Wolves. Nigel Clough, who's a son of Brian Clough, by the way. Brian Clough was one of the best managers to not manage England. That's what I was getting told the other day by a mate of mine who obviously supports Forest. David Ancelotti, he was linked, weren't he, when Enzo, before Enzo. David Wagner, Huddersfield, did well at Huddersfield, to be fair. Didn't really cut it in the Premier League. Wayne Rooney, no, I'm all right, thank you. John Dole Thomason, done all right at Blackburn. I mean, he had to deal with a shoestring budget and all with the bloody Venkies and that. So he's another manager who knows what it's like and how we are at the minute as a club. Ange Postecoglou, anybody? Ange, done well at Celtic. done well at Tottenham to an extent, and then won the title and won the European Cup, and then got sacked. If Michael Carrick wouldn't have stepped in at Man United, is decent shout, but big things have to change at Leicester City from. Yeah, agreed. I agree. If Michael Carrick, say he doesn't take the Man United job at the end of the season, say that he don't get offered it at all, and then we either someone on a short-term deal for now, and then Michael Carrick comes available, would you take him? That's my question. I tell you what, Richard, mate. If Brian Clough wouldn't stand there, they keep messing, mate. It's just who we are, mate. Paul Heckingbottom. Interesting. Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. Did he manage at Rangers? Van Bronckhorst. Alex Ravel. I think Ravel's at Stevenage, right? Alan Sheen's obviously, it never worked out for him at Swansea. Alex Neil, currently at Millwall. Dean Smith's on the bookies as well. I'm going far down here, so you might hear some obscure names that you probably don't even think of. Jamie Vardy to come back, he wouldn't want to work with Rookie. What about King for the rest of the season and next season? Trying Scott Parker. Scott Parker is good enough for the Championship. He's just not good enough for the Prem. His football is dire, by the way. You ask any fan. Vitor Pereira, is that the ex-Wolves manager? Chris Wilder, probably should have been one that we'd looked at in the summer. Carlos Corberán, I would have took personally. Who's that? Evo. I'm not sure who that is, Funk, to be fair. Which club's he managing? Bielsa did well at Leeds. Marcelo Bielsa, he's obviously king anyway. Leeds fans talk about Marcelo Bielsa, good coach, very good coach. We're on in the Premier League at the minute, though. And that's what I'm saying. We can't go looking for bloody bigger name managers, because we're just going to look at where we are as a club. Stevie G, yeah. Brian Barry Murphy, who left Leicester to join Cardiff in the end. Sergio Wagner is not related to David Wagner. Wow, okay. Kevin Muscat. Bloody hell, Neil Critchley's on here. Bloody Steve. But Richie Wellens was one that I had spoke about yesterday on the stream. And he's currently at Leyton Orient. And I said to Richie Wellens once, when we were chatting in a Q&A about Fox in the Box, I said to him, if Leicester came available and they offered you the job at Leicester, would you take it? He didn't say no. He said he probably would, to be fair, but he said, I've got to work my way up the leagues. That's what he said. Jack, you nearly fell off. Deary me. And Foster Coglu. It's an all interesting shout, isn't it? It's an interesting shout. Is that who that is? Doc Cox, British musician. Is that who you're talking about, Funk, by the way? Someone who's a musician. That's life. Is that who it is? That's who that is, and is it? Ivor Biggin. Robbie Savage, he's currently at Forest Green at the minute, isn't he, Robbie Savage? I tell you, seen some decent shots, but at the end up, we'll end up someone like Gary O'Neill's. He's at Strasbourg at the minute, isn't he? Jack, you nearly fell for it. No, he's a British musician. I've just looked it up actually, so I was just checking to see if it were an actual person. So yeah, there's not many. Dave Chandler at Stockport. There's a lot of names in there. Who's going to be the right man? Who would I take? I have not got a clue. I know he has some else issues at the moment, but I would take Big Nige. If he was well, I'd take him personally. I think steady shift 6 months, but I don't know. No, he's not, mate. No, he's not. Oh, right. Where is it? He is. He actually is. Look. Wait. Look. Also known as Robert Cox, also known as Ivor Biggin. It's an actual person. Walsham was there till the end. You pulling our leg with that one, Jack. Oh dear. Liam Rossinio will be out of a job soon, and Leicester City board want another yes man. Evening. How are we, Georgie? How are we, mate? So yeah, this is what's being said. Oh, right, yeah, Dan, I get it, mate. I did check if there was an actual person called it. I'm not gonna lie, but you've called me out. Fucking hell. So told Leicester will be target experienced candidate. Candidate to succeed Cifuentes with King in charge during the interim. Yeah, so Leicester are looking for an experienced candidate, by the way. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. They'll be trying their best to get Andy King back to take a thing. Yeah. Might as well go for Conrad Logan at this point. 15 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats. Right. Would you take Rodgers back? No, I wouldn't. Right. That is it from me. Thanks for everyone who's got involved. 115 of you watching, by the way. So hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on everything we've discussed in this video. Who next for Leicester City then is manager? Be sure to let me know. Like I say, subscribe. Championship predictions will be back this week as we will be discussing the upcoming games. There'll also be a match preview as well, match day vlog for Charlton, and there we go. Chef Fabregas, that'd be interesting. But I doubt he'd come to us with Como. But no, take care. 60 likes I've set for the stream, so if we can only hit 60 likes, even if we can hit 100, you know. If there's 111 of you watching, then. But Mick, it can't go on like this, can it? Leicester City looking for a new manager.
It can't go on like this, can it?
It can.